It was pretty obvious from early on that this year was not going to be as good as 2024 in terms of sheer quality, but I feel like there should have been more of a middle ground because this was a really dry year. A lot of albums I was excited for didn't hit me as hard as I wanted, mainstream music was almost entirely non-existent, Jesse Murph happened. It all kind of left me cold, and I found myself feeling nostalgic for 2024 more times than I'd like to admit. There was still some good stuff though. Miley Cyrus released an album in which she finally decided to live up to her potential. Her next album will probably be an hour-long power electronics EP and it'll suck. 21 Pilots released one of their best albums. The Tubs released a really great album that explores loss and bitterness. Clips came back after like 70 years to release an album that just about escapes Pharrell trying to screw it up constantly. Hayden Pedigo released a gorgeous album of American primitivist guitar, and Chop 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 released a gorgeous album of tinnitus. Key Glock made another Key Glock album that sounds like Key Glock. Cheekface made another Cheekface album that sounds like ska. Ethel Cain released a really good EP that I never want to hear again. And finally, Joey Valence and Bray popped their butts out and made some really good party jams that are going to be really weird to perform when they're 50. Here are 10 better albums than those. Last year, Courting released New Last Name, an album that was so good that everyone decided to hate it. Now, Lust for Life is not quite as good as that last album, but this is a worse year, so it's on the list anyway. It is still a very good rock album, though. Songs like Pause at You and After You show how good this band is at writing amazing indie rock songs that end with the word you. Stealth Rollback sounds like it's from hell, and the poppier songs like Namcy and 11 Cent This Time work just as well as they did on New Last Name. I hope Courting keeps refining their sound in the coming years, and also that people stop being brain dead and realize that New Last Name was a pop rock masterpiece. Everyone who knows me knows that I've always been saying Jane Remover needs to sound more like Destroyed Lonely. On Revenge Seeker, Ms. Remover finally fulfills this lifelong dream of mine. I didn't come back to this one as much as I thought I would when I first heard it, but man, there are some really great songs on here. There's a really good combination of rage and digicore that Jane creates that can be really captivating. Twice Removed is one of my favorite opening tracks of this year. I love the random part with the bell because it reminds me of Noah Oliver Yeat, who's one of the best rappers you can hear. Psycho Boost has an amazing feature from Danny Brown, who's currently on a mission to work with every trans person. The closing track, JR JR JR, has one of the best producer tag moments of this decade so far. I also really like the fact that this album goes into themes of insecurity, which fits the manic energy of the instrumentals really well. Big fan of this album. I will continue to support Jane Remover in spite of the aura farming allegations. Viagra. Boys. These are two things I have become very experienced in, but I didn't listen to this band until this year. It turns out this band is like if the Joker was actually funny instead of being a crazy murder guy. This album has some great political commentary that's delivered in a way that's equal parts hilarious and depressing. Man Made of Meat, for example. This song has everything: an insanely catchy chorus, lyrics commenting on modern overstimulation, burping.
It's made by goblins in a factory overseas.
Easily the best burp of 2025, and don't even try to argue with me about that. It isn't all jokes though. There are songs on here like Pyramid of Health and Uno 2 that go into interesting aspects of new age health culture, and also Medicine for Horses, which just makes me really sad. So yeah, Viagra Boys killed it on this one. Shout out to the country of Sweden. I will buy 18 truckloads of Zyn to give thanks. Dangerous Summer is like a sample spoon at Rita's type of album. It's the type of album to be called an EP, even though it's 11 songs in 33 minutes. It's the type of album to make a video I made obsolete after 2 months. There are some amazing instrumentals on this album. Loco opens like it's curb stomping you. Come and Go is one of the vibiest songs of this year. Oh I Did has a woman screaming sound that would fit right at home on 99 Spooky Sound Effects for Halloween Volume 1. It's not as conceptual or lyrically fascinating as 2093, but this does still feel like a much more mature project than some of his previous work. The rock influences implemented on ADL is Coming and the straight up Jungle Break and FKA Twigs feature on Fly Night really show an artist who's in control of his sound. Great job on this project, Yeet. Please stay off the perky 30s. Bleeds is an album that combines country and noise rock in a way that feels super cathartic. The way Carly Hartzman writes about life in the South is so poignant and refreshing. So much of modern country music and modern politics hinges around this fantasy world that small towns are utopian basques of libertarian beauty as opposed to a place where the Dollar General gets burglarized every other business day. On songs like Townies and Wound Up Here by Holding On, the band manages to walk the line of showing small town life as something that's extremely dysfunctional while also exploring the sentimentality that inevitably comes from living in one. There are moments with more brightness and humor though, such as the excellent country ballad Elderberry Wine and the album closer Gary's 2, which is about a guy who gets knocked in the face so hard he can drink all the Pepsi he wants. This is a really comforting album for me at times this year. Wednesday has officially moved up in my power ranking of things called Wednesday. You are going above the Netflix Wednesday fireplace. Tether is the type of album that makes the phrase talking about music is like dancing about architecture really ring true. It's an album that does not benefit in any way whatsoever from being described by a guy who has seen Alvin and the Chipmunks shipwrecked in theaters. It's the type of album you just have to go out on a drive and let wash over you. You can't hear a song like Unrest or Overflow or Villain and not have Anastasia's incredible voice and beautiful guitar playing just hit you in the soul. It's emotionally raw in a way that feels truly visceral while never feeling too uncomfortable or overbearing. I don't have anything else to say, just listen to the album. Please don't make me talk anymore. This year, Geese popped off in a way I have not seen a rock band manage in years. The amount of hype this band has is practically unprecedented in a time in which rock music is almost entirely gone from the mainstream. I just saw Cameron Winter be impersonated on Saturday Night Live. A lot of people have been talking about why that is, and I have a theory. It's because the album is good. On Getting Killed, Geese combines the best elements of 3D country and Cameron Winter's solo work to create an album that combines melancholy and hyperactivity perfectly. The opening song Trinidad, which is the first ever song to give you a POV of Margaret Thatcher on March 30th, 1979. Cobras, which is a great song about feeling conflicted when you're attracted to someone physically but confused emotionally. All Paws Do Cocaine makes me cry. Taxes, Bow Down. There are so many incredible songs on this thing. I know that every person in music history has talked about how good this album is. I think I saw Beethoven writing a Stereo Gum column about Long Island City, Here I Come. But if you're one of the 5 remaining people who have not checked it out, please do. Achilles is my personal pick for the most underrated album of the year. I don't know how this was not a massive release, but I absolutely loved it. Kevin Atwater is only at the beginning of his music career and he's already mastered the art of quiet heartbreak. He knows how to write a line that feels insignificant out of the context of a song and like a complete gut punch to every part of the human figure within it. It also helps that he's an incredible storyteller who picks really unique topics to write about. Jailer is about being pulled over by a cop while hooking up and the internalized shame it brings out of his partner. The Cage is an absolutely harrowing song about being with an older man while under the age of consent. Huntley is about him using the death of his dog as a means to self-destruct his personal relationships. This one made me cry. It's such an incredibly dense and mature folk album, and it manages in just 31 minutes. I mean, I know guys who can't finish a sandwich in 31 minutes. Snipe Hunter is the first time I've ever listened to a full Tyler Childers album, and this thing clicked with me hard. Childers combines his traditional Americana country sound with southern rock and psychedelic rock to create an album that makes me feel so cool every time I listen to it. He's really leaned into his oddball, crazed energy to create an absolutely insane, manic album. Eating Big Time has lines about skinning and eating a rich guy in his mansion. Bitin' List is about hating someone so much you want to bite them and give them rabies. This is the funniest topic for a song ever made. Snipe Hunt and Dirty Yacht Trill are awesome, and I have nothing else to say about them. I just want to shout those songs out because I like them so much. There is room for more introspective moments. Onita is a heartbreaking track about Childers being in an ultimately doomed relationship with an older woman. Really good year for songs like that. There's also a surprising amount of Indian spirituality in songs like Titra Yatra. This might be in part due to this album being produced by Rick Rubin. Big fan of your work, Mr. Rubin. I'd love to know what you actually do someday. Tyler Childers has proven himself as one of the best songwriters working today in country music. I'm so glad he's kept ignoring the part of his fan base made up of the dumbest people in the world. Vanisher Horizon Scraper is an album that should not be as good as it is, but it is anyway. There are so many ideas and genres mixing together, and it somehow creates a cohesive experience. It's such a gorgeous representation for the desire of self-destruction, all represented through the concept of a man trying in vain to sail across the world. There's a certain amount of commitment this album asks of you that may seem daunting, but it feels almost impossible to hear songs like Ruin My Life and Monday and say that commitment isn't entirely worth it. Quedeca continues to surpass any expectations I originally had for him when he was making FIFA 15 pack openings. I truly cannot wait to see where he goes next. Alright everyone, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it and that you have as good of a 2026 as possible. The video is over, go away. Okay, now that the losers are gone, here's the real best album of 2025. It's Will Smith! You know I had to get my boy Willie Smith on this. You know he's a real action star. He's a real action star, baby. Will Smith.